Here at Franchise City, we are brokers, and part of what we do is help people to find the right franchise. And much of that has to do with educating people, just like much of the videos here on our channel. And one of the brands that we are most frequently asked about is the 7-Eleven franchise. And 7-Eleven stores, as you know, can be found virtually on every street corner throughout the US, Canada, and even throughout the world. It's one of the most visible franchise brands out there, and many people equate that with the fact that it must be very successful and they can become rich by investing in this 7-Eleven franchise. But today we're going to look at what does this 7-Eleven's corporate success really translate into you as an individual franchise owner. So if your dream is to buy a 7-Eleven and you really want to invest intelligently, knowing both sides of the story, today we're going to look at 4 reasons that you may reconsider the 7-Eleven franchise. Number 1, let's start off with the royalty share. It's what we like to call an operator model or buying a job. So 7-Eleven buys the store, they buy the land, they buy the equipment, and then they lease it back to you, the franchisee. And despite the relatively large investment that you will be making for the 7-Elevens, about $150,000 or more, corporate is going to take 50% or more of your revenue. And franchise owners often find they are obliged to work the store themselves in order to make any money at all. Now, it's interesting how 7-Eleven describes this arrangement on their website. They say a gross profit split means we are invested. And you can see that right here on the image taken from their website here. Now, 7-Eleven, in my opinion, is misleading buyers by not disclosing that they take at least 50% of your revenue up front. And if you think 50% is bad, wait until your store starts earning more money, because unlike many other franchises that actually reward you for doing well with a declining royalty, 7-Eleven fees go up the more money you make. So 52%, 55%, 56%, and on. How much does an average 7-Eleven store owner make? Well, it really does depend on what you're selling, as some items have much higher margins. But a very approximate estimation is 5% of store sales. So a store doing about $1 million in sales would generate about $50,000 for the owner. Now, there's many more accurate ways to forecast what a 7-Eleven makes, but that's just a very quick ballpark estimate you can use yourself. Now, you can probably see that if a store is doing $1 million, owner's only getting about 50. Now you understand why many of these owners are working in the stores. Now, you can see in these images that are taken from their website, nowhere do you hear about this split until much later in the process and after you have completed a 7-Eleven application. Now, 50% profit share is so great as they purport. Why not disclose it? And viewers, make note of this tactic because it's what we call the puppy dog sales approach. Once a buyer falls in love with any particular franchise early in the process and has all these positive visions of owning the franchise and working there and making all this money, it's very difficult later down in the process to change their mind, even after seeing things like this 50% revenue split. Now, we see this happen very frequently with our own clients that come to us and they have these positive visions that were instilled in their minds. And despite the fact that we show them things like franchise failure rates, unhappy franchisees within the system, they don't want to hear it because they always have this positive mindset that started at the very beginning of the process. So make sure emotions do not guide you in the process. Continually be critical. Now, the number 2 reason you may reconsider is lack of control. And one of the benefits of franchising is that you have a nice blend of owning your own business, but you also have the support, training, and all the other good things that come from an established brand. Now, with most franchises, you maintain a decent level of control. It's no secret, however, that the 7-Eleven business model has been considered by many actually as an employer-employee relationship rather than franchisor-franchisee. And it's interesting, David Kaufman, who's a lawyer representing 7-Eleven, stated, "I frankly think there is no merit to the argument that 7-Eleven is an employer instead of a franchisor. And 7-Eleven has taken folks from Pakistan, India, and Vietnam, taught them how to operate a store, and introduced them to the American economic system. I think it is specious and insulting to claim that 7-Eleven is targeting these franchisees. Now, I think there really is two ways to view this. One is that 7-Eleven is targeting people who may not know any better and using them. Of course, another way to look at it is that 7-Eleven is providing these people with an opportunity. Now, that's up to you to decide which is the case. However, you should ask yourself, why don't we see any franchise industry experts, investors, or celebrities ever buying a 7-Eleven? Interesting to note also, the SBA, which is the Small Business Administration, also shunned 7-Eleven. And for those of you who don't know, the SBA is a governmental organization that provides support to entrepreneurs and also guarantees loans on many franchises. And a few years ago, in an email to Franchise Times, FranData President Edith Wiseman said the U.S. Small Business Administration has identified issues within the 7-Eleven franchise agreement that they would have to overcome to obtain SBA financing, including excessive fees, the requirement that store receipts are deposited into the franchisor's account, and the fact that the franchisor owns the assets of the business and provides all its payroll services. So again, we are seeing here many elements of what most people consider to be excessive control with 7-Eleven. Now, interesting also is that 7-Eleven stores are not eligible for the E2 investor visa program, as the U.S. Department of Immigration has also decided the lack of control makes 7-Eleven a poor investment for E2 investor immigrants. Number 3 is the 24/7 lifestyle. And as a 7-Eleven franchise owner, you are legally obligated to keep your store open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you don't do so, you'll actually be fined. Now, because 7-Eleven is just about everywhere already, do you think the best neighborhoods are available? Now, keep in mind, every year there are 7,000 robberies at gas stations, about 15,000 at convenience stores. You should ask yourself, is that something that you want to bring into your life? Now, number 4, we're going to end up with gouging and unethical practices. And if you take 2 minutes to search online, you'll find no shortage of owners and ex-owners that are quite displeased at 7-Eleven. Take a scroll through Unhappy Franchisees' website, and I'll post the links down below. You'll find comments from actual owners on many topics that are related to perceived negative experiences that they had with 7-Eleven. A lot of this has to do with gouging and these unethical practices, hard work, and very low pay. Or how about this franchise owner who was pushed out by 7-Eleven, who ultimately opened up a competing store across the street that was called 612. And it's a very interesting story in that 7-Eleven forced this owner to carry food that no one was buying. He had to throw it out to the tune of $200 worth of food a day. And then they eventually forced him out when he disagreed. Now, what about this news story? 7-Eleven takes bite out of American dream. And there's a lot more online if you take the time to research both sides of the story. So in conclusion, is 7-Eleven a good choice? Well, they will provide you with all the positives, and there definitely are positives. We have given you some of the negatives. Now you need to combine all that to make an educated decision on the 7-Eleven franchise. If you'd like to get the real story on franchises that most people don't speak about, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. Also, leave your comments down below on any franchises that you like. If you're currently looking for a franchise, don't make a mistake. Give your broker a call over at Franchise City, and thanks for watching.